Life. I just finished lunch and my headphones are empty. That should work. Noise cancelling. Okay, so let's see. I'm continuously using the app already. There's one thing that not really bothers me, but is a bug that we have to fix. That is for the sound. Here, sound improvement. Music volume is dimmed when playing the sound. Like, hey, exercise finished. Now the next, say, exercise starts. There will be a beep. That's good. However, if you listen to music at the same time, music is dimmed, but not like the volume does not increase back to its original volume after the sound, the beep sound, finished. So there has to be some call of letting the other sound source know we have finished our job of playing the beep. That's something I want to do, and then also there is on the simulator you cannot see it really, but when we start a workout and we have our table view down here, we actually have rows. I think you can really not see it on a simulator. Right there we have like a line, and also if you scroll, we can scroll. We should not be able to scroll because there's nothing to scroll. It just should show the next cell. That's something I want to fix as well. Small UI improvements do not necessarily break the app, but they improve the feeling of the user experience is just improved by fixing these little things, making it feel more robust. Now let's see on YouTube because I don't see the chat right now, so I cannot talk to you guys. Let's see where we are at. Really quick. That was loud. Oh yeah, that was the beep right here. Confirm that we want to stop it. Amir and Swiftaholic, hey, welcome to the stream and greetings from Washington, not DC, just Washington. From Washington back to Amsterdam. Early day stream, yes, I thought of maybe what about streaming earlier so it's late for some parts in the world, but not too late, like it's around 9 o'clock or 9:30, still possible to join. Let me also put the live stream link on Instagram. I think that should be it. Yes, that sounds good to me. Done and post. I prepared the post this time. Now, there's also another thing I want to do when I go back to my workout and I delete, it will immediately delete. Even if I swipe like that, it will immediately delete the workout, which is inconvenient since it's a lot of work to add all these exercises. So there's a lot of work that can be deleted. It's too easy. There has to be a check. We have to stick it to here as well, delete workout check. So these three tickets, let's tackle all of them. First of all, let's tackle this one, table view improvement. And for that, what we can do is, Rage Master, hey, you're early. Yes, you're early today. Luca Bachmann, long time no see in the stream. That's true, because I would always stream probably when it's super early in the morning in Germany, like 5 o'clock in the morning. Did Nicole end her stream yet? And Swiftaholic, joining your streams after long, wanted to ask why no Swift UI. Oh yeah, good question. The reason is simple, because Swift UI is awesome, but it's too, for what I want to do, it's too new. What I like to do is develop one app after another as quick as possible. And here's the emphasis on quick. And with Swift UI, you won't be able to develop it as quick because yes, you have a tremendous improvement of developing views like with less code. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking more about when you hit challenges where you don't know how to solve a certain problem in your app, you will be stuck for longer with SwiftUI than with UIKit, since it's so fresh that there are not as much resources on the internet to find a solution that at least works or gets you rolling into the right direction. And with UIKit, you can be certain Swift was out for 5-6 years already. You would possibly can develop like anything and will find for any problem at least one solution that kind of works. So that's the reason why I know SwiftUI. And then on top of that, SwiftUI might change its API still from one version to another, and then your app will just break if you want to continue developing. You update Xcode and Swift, for example, and then with that SwiftUI, the framework, and then you have to re-implement certain things and spend time on that since it's so new, which is totally fine. It's totally like, it was the same case with Swift when it came out, and it's really the question whether you are willing to spend the time on it because you're so excited about it, or whether you, like me right now, that you just want to develop one app after another to really just fire, and build up a diverse portfolio, so to say. That's the only reason. But I really look forward to dig into SwiftUI more once I think I can allow it myself to do so. I will switch through these two streams. All right. Alrighty, so that's the reason for SwiftUI. What was it that I was about to do? Makes perfect sense. There you go. Okay, yeah, table view improvement. So we are in the running workout VC. And in here we have somewhere table, whoops. Actually, we can just go over here and see setup, table view, this one, and this one. Separator style. The style for table cells used as a separator. Let's see, should be none. I wonder if I can, let's run it on my phone, because there at least I can see it. If I go to workout and I start it, let me see, let me go to QuickTime Player and show it to you on the stream as well, because here I can say movie recording. I can select the source. Since my Apple iPhone is connected to my MacBook, I can select this one as a source. It will take a while. There we go. And you can see there's this line right now. So if I set the property to none for separator style and then go to my workout and start it, Pokemon Go. Let's see. This is the fitness app. There we go. Whoops. Yeah, of course. Start it. And it's gone. As you can see, the line is gone. That's great. And on top of that, I mean, I can still scroll it. I want to make it next exercise table view. Scroll. Is scroll enabled? False. Run that. Angel, hello Martin, hi chat, how are you doing? Hey, welcome to the stream. I'm doing great. How are you? Good to see you. The old chat squad reassembled. If we start a workout now, then we should be able to not scroll anymore, and that's correct. Great. Okay, confirm, stop that. That means we have removed the lines between the rows. Yes, give the table view a height based on its content. Oh yeah, there we go. This one as well. Actually, it has a height already. It should be fine. So we can delete that. and put this one to done. Next, let's do this one first. Delete workout check. So what I want to do is when I delete it, I want an alert to really like ask, are you sure you want to delete this workout? And so let's open our alert manager and see acknowledged message just says okay, confirm and cancel right here. So we can use confirm message. Let's say this is a swipe to delete, right? Now we have the swipe thing somewhere. Oh yeah, in the workout list we see. So here, delete action, we say, this is the delete action. We're deleting already, and then out of the list, from table view, from data source. But aren't we deleting here already too? The dispatcher is the workout dispatcher. This is from, oh yeah, from data source, right? Data source is our view data source, this is the database basically, and this is the view itself. There we go, database, data source, table view. Alright, so what we want to do is put all of that, basically alert manager confirm on self. Do you really want to delete, let's say, where are we? The workout model and then the title, like that. Let's use single. And then we have the confirm handler, and that could just be all of this. Basically, let's see if that works. Oops, not my phone. Will you be making any Vapor 4 videos? I will for sure make Vapor 4 streams, that's certain. I am not sure yet whether I can find time to make Vapor 4 videos. I would love to. I would love to do create a course on Vapor, like a full-fledged course from getting started into real-world examples to build anything from say Twitter to transactions to even selling content on your website using Vapor. Email and authentication and phone and whatnot, all of that. But I really have to see whether I can find time to first basically prepare an episode and then film the episode, edit it, and then release it, and then also consistently do the next episode and the next episode, because it doesn't make sense to have like one episode and then 4 weeks there's no new episode and then there's another one and you're kind of stuck right after the first one or the second one. So yeah, there's this want, but then there's this the time issue, because right now I'm trying to build one project after another to build up a diverse stream of income that puts me in a place where I don't have to worry about making money. And then I will obviously have more time to then do whatever I want, which would be, for example, like before videos. Now let's run it on the 11 on the simulator, because I don't want to test it on my phone since I composed my workout there and it took some time, and I don't want to redo it in case we messed up something here. So that means when we delete it, do you really want to delete the home workout? Cancel. There we go. Okay, so when we cancel it, it should say completion false. Because else it will just stay here. Przemysław, Bobak, hey up, hey, witam. Sounds like a Polish name. I knew one in my high school years. I knew a Przemysław. We called him Shemek. Han Kim, what's up? Now, let's see. If we confirm, this is a confirm, right? If we will cancel, then so we need actually a confirm message. This is a confirm handler and the cancel action. Let's do cancel handler, which is optional, so I'm not messing up the whole wherever this is used already. And this one is basically add action, cancel action. Cancel action does nothing but basically if let what is this? Let's do like that. Since this is optional, right? Should be like that. Let's run it. Let's see if it still runs. Now it says missing that for all these missing. Okay, god damn it. So I have to add it anyway. Cancel, confirm. Let's just keep it the way it was before. Confirm, cancel message. Just re-implement a new version of it that supports both. And the reason why I do it right now is because one sec, this allows me to keep it here short. Looks good, man. I like using UI alert controller extensions. Yeah, or basically an own struct that handles it, right? Nikita Hritse, hey Martin, I'm your subscriber from Ukraine and I'm a student, and I want to say that you inspire me. When I work on my project, I like to see a stream on background. That's awesome, that's perfect. And sometimes try to understand what you're doing. You're cool. Thanks so much, I appreciate it. And greetings back to Ukraine. My little brother is actually half Ukraine. I mean, I'm complete, like, my background is Polish, but there is some connection to Ukraine there. And it's cool to hear that you use the live stream in the background for your own coding session, because that's something I thought this live stream is good for too. Right? Everybody is working on their projects, we're kind of working together. So let's see if we want to do cancel handler like that. And then basically okay action, cancel action. This is not really even okay. This is confirm action. But I'm trying to think if I can abstract it away. So not really, probably. Because whenever you do this, right, basically copying and pasting a lot of code, you should have somewhere a possibility to abstract it away and just write this once. However, I don't see right now on the spot a way where I can just say, okay, I'm building an action that has something or does not have something, and I'm building a cancel, and then I'm just creating that. Yeah, could be. Not sure if it helps. Sometimes it helps to abstract it away, sometimes it just makes things more complicated. Let's run this. This should not work. It does work. It should not work in one place, or actually I want it to not work in this place right here. This is all confirm handler. So this is going to be on self. The message is that confirm handler is. Let's close it like this. This is the confirm. We can maybe define it even here. Confirm handler equals that. That's a closure, basically, an anonymous function. And then cancel handler, and that really can just be saying completion false, because I'm using this completion. Where are we yet? Let confirm handler is that. Completion. Why is that an issue? Yep, and results is the same, says Han Kim. Hello from Romania. First time I actually catch the stream live. Hey, yes, good to see you. Good to see that someone is actually able to. I think, what time is it in Romania right now, or Ukraine? Is it like 10 o'clock almost in the evening, I suppose? Oh yeah, confirm message. That's the confirm cancel message. We're using a different function from there. So confirm cancel message has confirm and cancel handler, and if we run everything, this one is not. That's interesting. Oh, we're closing it over here. Whoops. That makes sense then. Delete action includes this. There we go. Okay. Now it succeeded. Now it works. And now we can say delete. Do you really want to delete home workout? No, cancel. And it goes back. Even from here. Cancel. And it goes back, because on cancel we say false. However, if we say confirm, it deletes it all the way. So that works great. We have now this check, delete workout check, done. Hello Martin from Skopje, Macedonia. So many different countries. We're so diverse in this chat right now. That's so awesome. Oh, it's almost 11 in Ukraine. That's late. That's really late. And even in Romania. All right. I see. So 10 hours offset from Washington, East Coast. West Coast. Same here, first time catch on time from Brazil, by the way. Nice! Brazil. Let's see. I am so bad at geographics, so I don't know. I feel like Brazil might be on the same continent that I am right now, but I might be totally mistaken. And from Italy. Hey, Danielle, stay safe. Italy. That's not too far from Germany. I heard it's a difficult time right now over there, somewhat. 9:45, so that's 9 hours. South America. Alright, so my feeling was somewhat right there. Same continent. If you count South America to like whole America, since they're connected, right? It's 4:45. 4 hours offset. I see why usually this wouldn't be too late if I start, let's say, at 7 o'clock. That would be 11 o'clock in the evening. What are you doing right now, guys? What are you also all working on your side projects, or are you just joining this live stream and see what we're doing here? Let's do a quick check-in on GitHub and say work out delete check table running workout table view improvement like that. So we have it checked in because it's a working state. And let's improve the sound. I'm not quite sure yet how. I have an idea, maybe, how we can improve the sound, because we have a sound manager. And here we say shared instance set category playback and duck others, right? And I think what we also want to do is probably it has something like shared instance and playback options, and then allow default to speaker, duck others, mix with others, but an option that indicates whether audio from the session mixes with audio from active session. Yeah, that's the other thing we can, but I think like duck others, an option that reduces the volume of the audio session while audio from this session is played. And then audio from this session. Let's check on the web how we can Swift audio session duck other. You can set this option only if the audio session categories play and record playback or multi-root. Setting it implicitly sets the mix with other options. Use this option to mix your app's audio with that of others while your app plays its audio. The system reduces the volume of other audio sessions to make yours more prominent. If your app provides occasional spoken audio, such as a turn-by-turn navigation app or an exercise app, hey, this is our app! You should also set the interrupt spoken audio and mix with others options. Oh, so that's interesting. That means use this option to mix your audio with the others, but while your app plays its audio, the system reduces. So this is what we want. However, note that ducking begins when you activate your app's audio session and ends when you deactivate the session. If you clear this option, activating your session interrupts other audio sessions. How can I clear my session? An option that determines whether audio from the session defaults to the built-in speaker instead of receiver. 1:45 p.m. So 1 hour offset. Not the best here, but we're strong. Yeah, that's good to hear. Very good to hear. Little question. I work on an iOS app and get data from an API and want to send it back to the view controller. Is there an easy way? At the moment I save the data in a user defaults. With return it doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, send it back to the view controller. Is your view controller actually triggering the API call after all? So who is doing the API call? Why do we have to? Oh, that's my phone here. We can actually quit that. Let's see, we have the phone over there, because what you would want to do is use a result approach, I would say, where you have the API call and you return a result that has two values, either it's success or error. And then you have a switch case, and on success you do whatever you want in your view controller, and on error you do whatever you want. For example, show an alert and say, whoops, something went wrong. So I'm currently working on my own app, Jake the Programmer. Yes, I know that. Oh, that was the question. That was the answer to the question, what you guys are doing right now. Great, great to hear. So we are a few people who are working on their own app. Well, yeah, I was working with Java and got boring. Later I will continue my studies with iOS and soon try to start my project. That sounds exciting. What project idea is that you want to start? I wonder. Dario, I'm working on my side project with Laravel and Node.js. So isn't Laravel and Node.js both frameworks for backend? How does that? I mean, that's interesting. How comes you use two frameworks for the same basically purpose? Laravel is awesome, PHP based, right? By the way, this month I will launch my app on the App Store and Play Store. Mobile app for mental health. That's good. Mental health, I think Apple is trying to focus their, that's what I read about the Apple Watch. It's in the physical health segment right now, and they want to expand into mental health as well. So I really enjoy Laravel. Dario, that's neat. Good luck. Yeah, good luck for the release. Play Store shouldn't be an issue. App Store can sometimes be nerve-wracking because you get rejected and then you have to adjust it and resend it in. But in the end, you always get your app released. I'm currently building an AR-Kit module into my app. That's interesting. AR is something I want to dig into right after this project, potentially. And Instagram Speak Out app key? Question. What difference do you face when you have just Vapor, Leaf versus Vue or React in front end? The difference is work. If you just use Vapor and Leaf, basically what you do is you're just having a backend and you write plain HTML, obviously Leaf on top of that with a little bit of logic, but it's a lot less work to implement the front end with plain HTML, so to say, than implementing the backend and then a whole front end like Vue.js, which can be a lot faster when you interact with it, but it's a bigger project, so you would have to have more time at your hand to implement the same thing with Vue.js or React.js. It doesn't matter. Front-end framework just requires more time than plain HTML and any render language like Leaf. Dorinel, what's up? I'm trying to build a website with Nuxt, but I don't know Nuxt. Well then, get started in reading into Nuxt. No, not the API, get the right data. I get the right data of the API. I don't quite understand, I think. Not the API gets the right data, I get the right data of the API. One sec. Right now I did an app in 2018, even launched, but didn't continue build, so I will backend that for now. It's basically about schedule room. Schedule room. Oh, you mean like, is it like you can define rooms and then you can request a room so you can occupy it for a meeting or something like that? So about the API, Luca, I've read a message before. You wrote a message before. Laravel is awesome. I call it in the view controller and the API gets the right data. Oh, there we go. And I get the right data from the API. When I say return result, it doesn't work. If I say print result, everything works fine. Yeah, because it's asynchronous, so you cannot use return at that point. What you do is you have a completion handler, basically, just like the alert controller. It's the same. Alert controller is asynchronous as well. So here I say confirm handler, right? And then once whatever is happening, like say someone taps confirm, then this one is fired. For you, in your case, is whenever you get the feedback of your API, you want only then start calling the closure that you passed in from your view controller, and into that closure you pass the result of your API, so that from your view controller you can basically say where do I have it? Here you can basically say you have the closure in your view controller, you say whatever result type is, I don't know if it's a string or whatnot, and then you can just use the result here, right? And do whatever you want inside your view controller. And that closure you pass into your API to be executed once the API call finishes, or it basically gets a result. It's a little bit difficult to explain over the stream, but I'm sure you figure this out. I'm sure there are resources for that on YouTube somewhere. Now let's get back to this one. I wonder, because I used that one, right? I use the playback and I use duck others. Oh yeah, it says ends when you deactivate the session. So I have to deactivate the session. This is the session. The current audio sessions mode. I wonder if there's anything that hints me what I can do. So Swift activating an audio session, set active. Options, set active options, notify others on the activation. Set active false. But this is something I want to have after our play is executed. How do I know this finished? There's no completion handler, I think, here. Sound is played asynchronously. Exactly. How am I supposed to know? Audio player. It has a delegate. What if the delegate, let's see, sound manager, what if there's a callback for when a sound is, finished? AV audio player delegate. What do we have here? Is there anything? Okay. God damn it. Show me. Is there anything I have to implement if I use the delegate? That's fine. Okay, let's have a look in here. Audio player did finish playing. There we go. This is what we want. Audio player begin interruption. It's called when the audio session has been interrupted while the player was playing. The player will have been paused. Okay, so that's what I wanted. Audio player did finish playing, and for that I want to have the player Can the audio player do something like that other people know? No, probably not. So then let's do try AV audio session shared instance set active, basically that. Notify others on the activation. Yes. Catch, and then just do that. Could not deactivate AV audio player like this, and resetting self on init already. Wait a second. This audio player is never instantiated, is it? Oh, here we do that. If let, okay. Then we are also doing this. That's more clear. So when we have a ding, then we instantiate. And then also, god damn it. Right now I did it. Yep, it's quite simple, but it tested it in a company, the conception, and I see opportunity to grow the idea. Yes, totally. I mean, it sounds like it's simple and yet useful. And if people are using it already, then you can obviously improve and widen your audience by implementing more features that are even more useful for that. Look at Backpoint. Oh, I understand. Thanks, but it's good to know that I need the confirm handler. Yeah, somewhat like that, or call it maybe completion handler, right? That's more common to use. But yeah, we will do something like that later in this app as well. And the way I do the syntax, or the whole, not syntax, but architecture, that is something you can have a look at if you want to, when we do that in one of the future live streams, once I start implementing the Vapor backend for this app. So, hey Martin, I watched your video on scraping Instagram using Swift, but I want to know how to open the Instagram app. Oh, how to open the Instagram app. So you cannot do that from the Instagram app. You cannot scrape from the Instagram app, right? And if you want to open other apps, you should check out Paul Hudson. But I'm not really sure this is what you really look for. You don't have access from your app to other apps' content. So if you're looking for that, you won't be really successful. Let's check. So let me just quickly run this on my phone so I can test whether it's actually working, and you can hear that too. Let's increase the volume. Let's play QuickTime Player. I hope it works that I mean open QuickTime Player, and I hope it works that I play an audio and you can still see it. So now here we are. Let's play. Can I play something? No, you cannot hear it because we are connected to the computer. God damn it. Okay. Okay, so we have that running. Let me see. And let me edit this one to just 5 seconds. It should reduce the audio once we have a peep. Yes, it decreases back. That's awesome. And then it's pause and it gets back up. Ah, oh, that's awesome. That's so good. Alrighty. It works. Let's edit this one back to 45 seconds. Whoops, I didn't save that. save, done. Now, okay, we can, Mom! My mom is just entered the stream. Like, hey mom, hab dich lieb. Przemysław, there are ways to scrape from Instagram, reverse engineering their private APIs. Yes, there are, but you must be aware of the risk that whenever you are deploying an app to the App Store and do something that's not quite legal in the sense of that other companies clearly don't want you to do, then you might risk to get your developer account cancelled from Apple, and then I think it will be difficult to get it back. And if it's cancelled, you cannot release any apps for the App Store anymore, and you don't want to do that, right? So yeah, that's that. Hey Martin, I'm new to programming. I want to learn how you can help me. Well, I can help you by pointing you to my resources on YouTube to get into iOS programming. If you scroll down on my YouTube channel, there are videos basically teaching you iOS development, or also point you to Coding with Chris on YouTube, or advising you to search for other tutorials on YouTube and Google, and also letting you know that you can learn iOS development for free by just Googling articles and tutorials every day. That's how I learned it. I never ever paid for a course to learn iOS development, and yet I'm able to publish apps with in-app purchases, develop any app of any kind I want to, and so yeah, that's the only thing I can do for you. Eric, I've been learning Swift for a few weeks now and I'm really confused and frustrated. Do you have any tips for beginners? Yes. My biggest tip for beginners is pick a project that is as small as possible. Really as small as possible. It has to be stupidly small. Create an app that just does nothing but generates a random number. For example, press a button, generates a random number, displays it, done. Finish this project, make it super ugly first, and then try to improve it with, say, nicer UI, so you really learn everything what you search on Xcode, how to use Xcode. So it's not really like about learning how to implement complex UIs. It's more about getting familiar with the language and how things work in the IDE and whatnot with super small projects. Else you get overwhelmed, you get stuck, and then stuck with challenges that are just 5 or 6 challenges at once you cannot solve yet. So stupidly small, and improve these stupidly small projects to like a better version, say a better UI in the next version 1.1. Okay, random number generator now has a nicer button, or has even an animation that animates the number counting, and then you finish this and it's done. What you do with that is not only have you built a solid foundation of knowledge how to build that app, but also you have a resource for yourself to look up what you've done there once you are developing a new app and you forget how to do certain things. You have it already in your old app the way you understood it. So it's the best tutorial you can have is your own code, because you understood what you were doing there and it matches your brain basically. So stupidly small projects. And also my tip for beginners is just copy the hell out of other projects. Like, don't try to get new ideas and implement new ideas that haven't been done before. Just look at other projects and see, okay, it's a big project, I'm gonna copy this small piece of this project, copy it completely, but implement in a way that you implement it yourself, right? Don't copy code or whatnot, just see a feature and try to implement it yourself in a single app. This is how you learn. It's not about like copy, stealing and releasing it. It's more about learning, and really accomplishing one project after another, feeling an accomplishment. Oh, I accomplished 5 projects by now. Like, and it does really feel good. And you can even build a small website to put all images of your projects there and say, hey, this is my portfolio. And you just and your stupidly small projects will naturally become bigger and bigger, because the definition of stupidly small for you will change one project after another, since you will grow in your confidence what you actually can accomplish. So, how is it in America? Do you miss Berlin? No, I don't necessarily miss Berlin, but it's different. It's more open and wide. So if you cannot really go out and do something, you have to have a car, or you walk to the city. But then there are, because of Corona as well, but there are not that many people. So if you want to go out and party, or just meet random people on the street, or feel like being part of a group, that's not the case here at all. So that's different. If you like that, if you're just that way, then this is good. For me, this is the case. Let's add fix audio volume Let's make it shorter. So like that, push, origin, master. I would ask you about Flutter. Is it worth to learn? Yes, everything is worth to learn. It's more a question of whether you like it. And you don't know it yet. You don't know whether you like a framework or language yet, like Dart. So you have the only choice to test it. Try Flutter for 3 months straight. Just focus completely on Flutter and don't get distracted by Swift, by React.js and whatnot, React Native I mean. Just focus on Flutter and try to build stupidly small projects with it, one after another, so you get to know 2 things, the good and the bad about Flutter. The worst thing you can do is quit Flutter once you hit the bad. If you do that, you will, I promise you, get stuck at a certain level of knowledge in every language that you will never overcome. Because whenever you quit some languages or frameworks, whenever it gets bad or challenging, you will not know which framework or language you like the best, because you always quit you always experience the good and you always quit when it was bad, so you don't know which bad was the least bad. You don't know, and therefore you cannot decide which language you want to go for, and then you're a master of none. You're just switching from one language or framework to the other, wasting lots of time and not building anything that great. And you can open the apps from the apps. Will do, Martin, you are an inspiration. Oh yeah, Eric. So let's go. Yeah, you got it. Feel it. It's the same here in Paderborn. Yeah, it's pretty empty. I prefer it like that. Personally, things are more. It feels like some things are better. Some things are more expensive, but I think overall the feeling is in the States you are more motivated to do things, and it's also easier to accomplish things. There are not that many restrictions or laws or documents you have to do just to accomplish some simple things, which is the case in Germany. I mean, it's known, Germany is like the paperwork country. What do we want to do next? We have App Store review request, asking for a review. That is something we might want to do once in a while. I just don't know when. We can do that once a workout was finished, because you don't want to ask for a review of the app in the App Store when you start the app. It's just annoying. You start the app, you want to work on, and then there's a question, hey, do you want to review the app? No, I mean, I didn't even use the app yet. So you maybe want to do like workouts And maybe I want to even implement a counter, how many workouts have you done, and after the 5th workout or something, then you want to review the app. Maybe that makes sense. Maybe this one can actually go to 1.1, because it doesn't break or make the app. Create app logo, we'll have to do that. I think we will dedicate a whole stream to that. Easter egg, that's something we might do as well at some point. Tab bar, we can do that now. Wishlist is API and iOS. I think that's supposed to come, let's say, before. App logo would also include, create app logo, that. We also need App Store images for when you tap on the app in the App Store, so you can see, right? If you go, for example, on my website and then to portfolio, you go to, say, social down, and then you want these images to be generated, so I have to create these images too. So let's do, I mean, tab bar is a rather simple thing. Workout list, statistics, though, wish list, settings. I think what we want to do is, we only want to have the workout and the wish list for now. I think. Settings, I don't know about that. Because what would be in the settings? And do we really need settings for now? I think a wish list could be... In the settings, what we could do is set, say, the time, the countdown time when you start a workout, right? For example, home, workout, we save it, we create a new exercise, push-ups, right, of 45 minutes, and we hit start, and this one says 5 seconds. What if this is too long for you? What if you just want 3 seconds? What if it's too short, you want 7 seconds? You should be able to adjust that. That's something we can put into settings. What we can do is, for beginners, which you prefer to begin learning, SwiftUI or UIKit? I would say UIKit for beginners because there are more resources, and UIKit, when you learn that, it's still relevant even in SwiftUI. It's not like, oh, you learn UIKit and now when SwiftUI gets popular, you wasted your time. Not the case at all. All the knowledge you acquire through UIKit also includes lots of acquiring knowledge about the language itself, Swift, and with that, gaining confidence in learning or even developing in a new, say, framework, which is SwiftUI in this case. So, having said that, UIKit has more resources. It's going to be way easier for you to search for or find a solution for UIKit problems than for SwiftUI, which for beginners is way more motivating than being frustrated all the time. And frustrations is number one reason for giving up to learn to code in the first place. Is it possible to combine UIKit and SwiftUI? Yes, absolutely. It absolutely is. There is a UI host. One sec, you have to be in a... So, workout. God damn it. There is something like UI hosting controller, but we don't have that. That's interesting. You can use, where do you have that? You can use SwiftUI views and wrap them with a UI hosting controller and use that controller as a normal view controller for wherever you want to use it. I could even right now build a new view, say the workout view, just in SwiftUI. Everything else is still UIKit, just in SwiftUI. It will still be working just fine with the whole app, except that it's only then working on iOS 13 and everything above of that. We can close this one because SwiftUI is from iOS 13, right, and upwards. So exercise, workout, running workout utils, and let's go and create tab bar and say it's just a UI tab bar, but let me think. Do we need a custom one? Not really. Because if we go to app delegate, what we want to have is instead of UI navigation controller being the root view controller, we want to have basically UI tab bar controller, and that one has view controllers a list of view controllers, and that's going to be for example the UI navigation controller, and then I don't know, the wishlist controller, right? So let's go here. This one is going to be TC. I'm going to rename that in a second, but new group is wishlist. Wishlist goes down here. Let's call it wishlist VC. UI kit, and then final class wishlist UI view controller, and then view did load, super view did load, and then just say view background equal to custom green, just so we can see self action func dismiss. Actually, no, we don't need a dismiss at all. We have that, and what we can do is here we can say wishlist VC. Now we have two. We run that. Let's see. We don't have any icons for our tab bar controller, but we do have a tab bar now. And when we tap here, we are in the workout. If you tap here, we are in the wish list. Two different, you know. However, we want to have tab bar controller icons, and for that, let's see. Tab bar item that represents the view controller when added to a tab bar controller, which is UI bar item. One sec. Tab bar item is of type UI tab bar item. And that one has a title, image, optional image. What we can do is, just for the fun of it, get, for example, private func, and then say workout list VC, and that returns a view controller. Actually, yes, UI view controller. And this one is doing nothing but that. VC is that, and then NC, and VC means view controller, and NC means navigation controller, and I think NC has tab bar item, UI tab bar item. Let's just say title, say workout, right? This is snil return NC, which is also of type view controller. So that means we can use workout list VC, or basically build. Let's call it build, like that. And we do the same thing for our wish list. Build wish list. And then we say just wish list here. And we are build wish list VC. Do this. If we run it now, you can use storyboard if you're a beginner. I highly recommend, especially if you don't know experience with code. I mean, that's something I would argue actually that is a question of taste. For me, for example, I started with storyboard and I quickly started with programmatic UI because whenever I use storyboard, I felt insecure not knowing what's really happening in code. I felt like, okay, I'm building something with just like clicking and dragging stuff, and something magically is happening under the hood and I don't know what it is. And the issue with that is that at some point you have to code programmatic UI, and then you are kind of in two worlds at the same time. While I mean, programmatic UI feels intimidating if you don't know about it. I know exactly how I felt when I started it, but as soon as you build your first programmatic UI, you feel like, okay, it's actually quite simple. And so yeah, I would personally, if you ask me, recommend to really start with programmatic UI, but I'm not saying it's the right way to do it. It's really the question about how you feel about that. So if you try both and you feel like, okay, all right, I would rather go for storyboard, and the reason must not be because it's more convenient. Convenient should never be a reason for going for something, because that's something that will limit you from growing. Now we see workout and wish list. So what we can do is create workouts. We have the mock data, interesting. Oh yeah, maybe let's see, mock data, what was it doing? It was just creating workouts, right? Create workout request, but not exercises, probably. Let's delete the mock. And then in here, let's do that. Yes, you can combine SwiftKit, Swift UI Kit and SwiftUI. Take the program, you could abstract all of that to a class that extends from UI TabController so that it isn't all in your app delegate. Right. Yeah, I think you're right when you say, like, if you say extend, probably you mean like inherits from your TabBarController, and then you just instantiate it, and then you have all the definitions in there. I think it makes absolute sense. We can improve the code for that, but before we do so, I think we do that in the next live stream then. What we can do now is just choose some icons for the workout and wish list. And also what I want to do is, if I go into here, I want to, let's see, when we start the workout, I want this one to not appear, which is the case because we are presenting it as a popover, which is perfect. Confirm. All right, great. If we go here, that is kind of something I also don't want. What we could do is, when we go into workout list, into exercise actually, exercise list. Let's see, we have in it, which is great because we can say tab bar show is, we have this toggle whether or not to show the tab bar. Let's see, workout list VC, and if we tap on one, we have the selected, did select somewhere, there we go. I don't know. I'm not remembering the property. Could you please share us the source for this app? I cannot, unfortunately, because this will be a an app that will drive revenue. But you can see all the streams that I did. That they are basically every line of code I have implemented. It's a little bit contradicting, but it makes it more, say, I think, or less easier to just copy the whole app and publish it yourself, which I don't encourage. But this app was completely built from scratch on the live stream. Every line of code I wrote is online on YouTube on the playlist, the fitness or iOS app, fitness app. So if you were to see how you build certain things, you can watch from the first episode and see the whole app actually unfold. Swift hide tab bar. Hide tab bar. There is TabBarController. Tab bar is hidden true. No, I don't like that. I don't know about this. I don't know if I used that one. Exactly. Hide bottom bar when pushed. A boolean value indicating whether toolbar at this is it. Out button. This is what I was looking for. So let's try and see. Type everything from episode 1 and you get it. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's basically it. Not encouraging it because, again, trying to make a living off of it. But that's basically how you could learn still how we built all of that. Okay, so we can start the workout here, and I wonder if I see in the edit screen still the tab bar. Nope. Okay, it's gone. That's good. So every child thing that's gonna be presented is also not showing it, which is great. I don't want in here to have the tab bar. If you are here, it makes sense. Okay, we're in the workout list, wish list. You kind of want to be able to switch between, but this is really a view, I would think, where you don't care about the wish list. You are about to, start your workout, so you want the full screen experience. And also, if you're in the edit mode, you really have a certain intention here, and you don't want to go to a different place in the app, as well as when you start or when you add stuff. Cool. That's for that. All right, let's see. Let's say we called a day. We finished the live stream here. We end the live stream here. It's been about an hour, I think, a little bit more. And what we can do next live stream is finish the tab bar to pick and choose some icons from SF symbols, right? Since we have the Apple native app for icons, we can just look for workout or fitness. We will find something for sure somewhere, health, that is appropriate also for list, and then just use one of these icons for our app for simplicity sake, and then maybe start implementing the, let's see, we have fire and light. Oh, interesting. I already defined it. As of symbols, let's see. Fire. All right. And then light bulb probably for ideas, wish list. So let's do that in the next stream if you want to see how we do that, exporting it and then having it outlined and filled when it's active or inactive, and then we can start implementing the wish list or starting our Vapor backend project that will then in the end implement the wish list logic. So Xcode version. What Xcode version are we at? We have 11.4. Thanks everybody to thanks everybody for joining the live stream. I appreciated the chat. We talked a lot. I think we also were able to make the app more stable in its use. You're very welcome, Angel. I appreciate everybody who joined, and I had fun streaming, talking to you guys. Yeah, Rage Master, take care. See you on Instagram, see you in the next stream, hopefully. Have a good day, have a good evening, or a good morning, and have fun